All right, we'll start with the opening statement from Coach, and then we'll open up for questions.
Well, yeah, good to see everybody. Basketball, I guess, we're back, huh? Back to Hope Coliseum now, and fun to be out there. I think fun for these guys to put on the uniform and just play and compete. Obviously, as you saw, at times it looks pretty good. At times there's plenty of things for us to work on, and we'll get back to the drawing board on Tuesday when we get back together. But yeah, I thought we had moments of being pretty good, at moments where obviously the fouling was kind of crazy, the amount of free throws, and so we'll work on that. Didn't shoot it particularly well from three, and so we'll continue to kind of work through there. But thanks to Fairmont, glad Stephanie and her crew came. Just good for our state, good for our region to get to play those guys. And, like I said, we'll a lot to work on and a good start. And I'm just going to kind of leave it a little vague today for some obvious reasons, but I'll let you guys fire away with a few questions.
Mark, you said you've never really done an exhibition before, so just, I guess, initial reaction. What do you get out of this versus a closed-door scrimmage?
Yeah, well, just, I guess, the lights, so to speak. Fans put on the actual uniform, go through maybe a little bit more of a traditional warm-up, even though the guys played right in front of us, so that changed it a little bit. But shoot-around, pregame meal, just kind of the normal routine, a little bit of a scattering report just to give these guys a little idea of what it'll be over the next several months and 30-plus games, So, yeah, I've not really been an exhibition guy. We were not even really supposed to play it, to be honest. We had a closed scrimmage that kind of fell through at the last minute, so Fairmont stepped up and helped us out. But, but I think they probably had fun doing it this way as well.
So you had a big hole to fill with the loss of JJ. How do you feel that Sydney gets into the starting lineup? How do you think that she did in that starting lineup tonight?
Woodley you're talking about, or Shaw? Sydney Woodley? Yeah, no, Woodley was really good and active, and she's very disruptive on the ball and gets a lot of steals, gets her hand on a lot of touches. I would say we kind of keep that every day in practice, and about every 4 out of 5 days, Woodley probably wins that category. But yeah, Woodley was good. Picks and chooses. I thought she was aggressive at the right times offensively, and that's been our challenge with her, is just to continue to stay offensive. When she gets those opportunities, she has a chance to be a special defender, as we've seen over the last year plus a little bit now. So yeah, really happy.
Coach, one thing I seen was you talked about an inside-out attack at the Big 12 Media Day. How did you feel going into this game? Do you feel like you've seen enough of that, or are you looking for more?
Well, I think we've seen enough of it in our closed scrimmage, and then tonight where our production in the paint has been really good. It was a year ago, too. We just had to do it a little bit more with the guards, and now we have some post players that can produce in the paint. So, I thought we did a good job of that in the closed scrimmage. At times did it well today, at times no. And, the way they defend, though, is they really try to take away that paint in the rim, and so that's why we had so many wide open threes. Had we made a few more threes, I think it would have opened back up again, and then we would have had the advantage even more so. But when we missed shots, I thought we kind of crushed them on the board, so that kind of gave us some second chance points.
And then for you too, how did it feel to finally get in front of a crowd and play in the Coliseum? You've practiced and scrimmaged a little bit here, but what did it feel like?
I think it was awesome. I feel like we've all been really, waiting for the moment where we can play in front of fans. That was so fun, just having people, finally be able to see what we've been practicing for so long. And, for my first time, playing in front of people in the Coliseum, it was just awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, it was great, really exciting. Definitely is preparing us for the season. It's good to see people come out and support us and get to, meet the fans and get to see them in person.
Carter, I'm from Raleigh. When you came here, I guess the first challenge is getting to know the other players, finding your spot to fit in or whatever. Did you learn anything different, or did it play out any different than what you were thinking or what you expected?
For me, I feel like it worked out better than I thought it would. I think we all get along really well off the court, so that helps with on-court chemistry. And everyone's really open to talking to each other and hearing feedback and stuff like that. So it really makes it easy. Everyone's a great teammate. We don't really have problems. So.
Yeah, I think that's props to the staff too. Coach Kellogg recruits good character kids, and I feel like that shows because we all get along. And on the court, you can see we all get along. And I feel like for me coming in, this was one of my first experiences where all the girls are truly really good friends, and there's, like Carter said, there's no animosity or anything. So I just think we all get along really nice.
Is it hard to get that sense with as quick as the transfer portal and process works?
It is definitely changing schools. The adjustment is difficult, but here was really smooth. The girls returning here made it really easy, and the coaching staff and everyone.
Yeah, I would definitely say the same. The girls who were coming back here made the transition super easy, welcomed us with open arms, and any questions we had, they answered.
Coach, in regards to that, just talk about the cohesiveness. I know you talked about rebounding during the preseason, but just now that you've been able to see the team on the floor against another team, how do you think your team's cohesiveness translated tonight?
Well, yeah, they took care of the off-the-court stuff, like these ladies said, I think, pretty early, right? I felt like that was really easy. It's the cohesiveness on the court and just playing with each other and, finding rotations. And this is going to take a minute. We're not going to have this all figured out over the next couple weeks by any stretch. This will go, for quite some time. But just, still trying to identify roles and, minutes and how is it going to get spread out and rotation. So that's going to be a work in progress. That's on ultimately me, because I know I get to decide that, but I tell them, they decide the playing time, how you practice, how you prepare, what you do when the lights come on. Those are all how you earn more opportunity. But like they said, they're great kids. They're working hard. We're working on the consistency every day. And so I think as we get a little more consistent day in and day out, we'll just keep improving. But you can tell they like each other. They'll play for each other. There's none of that on this team, it's a lot more enjoyable when you have kids like that.
Mark, Jordan Thomas and Mimi together on the floor, can that be permanent, and what does that give you?
Well, yeah, I think, like Carter was on a minutes restriction and has been a little limited with just some, can we call them minor injuries? Is that fair, I guess? And so, and then CC, and then we throw Riley in at the four. We only have 11 players, and I keep saying this, but I feel like it's a very versatile roster. Like, we can move people. There's different ways we can play. We can go a little bit bigger if we want. If we need to rebound, then normally I would say we need a little bit bigger, but then I look down and Riley has 10, and I don't count her as normally one of the bigger ones. That's more of the other way, playing a guard like 4. I just think, again, that just gives us options. I think as a coach, you want options. You want, if we could stay out of foul trouble, I would have had more options tonight, and that would have helped a little bit. But, I think it's a versatile, as long as we stay healthy, it's a versatile group. And, we should have some advantages, back to your original question, in the paint with quite a few of them.
And then you've said this offseason, it's going to look a little bit different this year. How much of that is just going to be in the front court? It seems like just, tonight it looked a lot different than the last 2 years.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't, to the naked eye or to you guys, it shouldn't look, I don't think it should look all that different if you watched us today. Just personnel is what's going to look the most different. How we play, what we do, we don't really try to change that a whole lot year to year. But, can our pressure sustain? There's some things we're still working on there. We may, like I've alluded to already, we may have a little more production at the 4 and the 5 in the paint than we've had in the past. That wasn't necessarily our strength. We obviously lost quite a bit of production in a lot of ways. We know JJ's gone. That was 20 points. I get it. But every year you lose production, and somebody's going to pick up the slack. So somebody will.
Coach, how important will film study be from now until next Monday?
Yeah, we're off tomorrow, and then we'll kind of get back to it Tuesday, and I'm sure have some stuff clipped up. And, throughout the week, we'll study this. We spent a lot of time last week working on the film from the closed scrimmage. And then, we'll start to put our attention to the first game, which is, 7 days away now, and make sure we got them ready to roll.
When you watch a game like this, are you watching more of what different players are doing together from a rotation standpoint? Are you watching more sets? What goes into that?
All of it. The rotations was a little hard, and when you're playing with the lead, and we only played Jordan, I think, she played 13 minutes, and some of those guys, Jordan Thomas, only played 15. So some of the rotations never really probably materialized. So this was more for me, was to get the new guys as many minutes as I could in the facility, shooting in the Coliseum, those types of things. Get Carter stretched just a little bit so she could get some minutes. So that's what this was. So the film may not help me a ton from lineups and those types of things, but we'll certainly get better from it.
Coach, with Woodley, as you kind of progressed from last year to this year, did you kind of always have her penciled in as a starter, or did she work and develop her way into that role?
Well, yeah, I don't know that we've we have a set 5 yet. It's just kind of the way it's played out so far, and she's a returner, so typically I would allow the returners the first crack at everything, and they have a little more knowledge because they've been in the system, and so you at least want to start out with we're in the right spots and doing the right thing, and these guys will keep getting better every day. But she has worked extremely hard. I will give Woodley some props. She's in the gym all the time. She was in the gym all the time in the summer. She's worked hard at it. I'm just happy to see offensively that she's taken on a little bit of an identity right now and stayed aggressive, which will help us if she will continue to do that. I knew what she would be defensively. This is kind of what I thought you would see with more opportunity. It's just the offensive end that I feel like she's a little more comfortable.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, obviously, when you look at her stats from when she was at Long Beach, I mean, obviously on paper, it kind of looks like it fits with your system. Doesn't always work out that way, so I mean, she's obviously changed, right? I mean, she's become a more dynamic, I don't know if dynamic's the word, but more of a complete player. I mean, she's probably not the same person that, you recruited.
Yeah, well, I think she's a better version and the best version of herself, which you hope every year they become a better version of themselves. But the reason we liked her was because of what she did do at Long Beach defensively and all those steals and tips and deflections. And so that piece is pretty much the same. It's just transferred up to this power forward level. She wasn't a big-time scorer there, but was a scorer, so to speak, at Long Beach. And so I thought that took a back seat a little bit. She kind of just took on the role of being the kid off the bench to really defend and kind of change, the dynamic when she came in. And now she's settled into, picking and choosing maybe a little bit more. But we still yell at her from time to time that she doesn't shoot or, isn't as aggressive. You should see her in practice. There's some, everybody screams wood, wood. Like, what are you doing? Like, shoot the basketball. We want you. We've run good offense. We expect you to take that shot. So she'll continue to get more comfortable.
Following up on that a little bit, what we were just talking about, were there a couple of things that you talked with Coach Kellogg about when you transferred here that you think he saw in your games at your previous places? And are there places where you all think you can expand your games?
I think the biggest thing for me is Kellogg, he had a big belief in me, and I feel like that's what I lacked coming here. My confidence in my game was kind of lower than it probably should be, but he saw something in me, the scorer, and honestly, my rebounding, I think that might be my first double-double I've gotten in a college game. And that's something he's trying to get out of me is rebounding, because I am 6'2", and I should be rebounding. And I just think he really does get the best out of me because of his belief in me.
Yeah, they really believed in my rebounding ability there and saw what I did last year and what I could do here. So just that and my aggression, and then obviously the defense here is great. So it's hard to play. We're pressing all game, so that part of my game is what they really want me to improve in and just be more aggressive on defense.
Thanks, everyone.